I know people are saying that nowadays it's the Hall of Fame is getting washed down. Well, there a lot of people are saying whether you're talking about the NFL Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, MLB Hall of Fame, NHL Hall of Fame, you're like they just letting anybody in, and that usually comes after somebody that may not have had uber great stats or uber great accomplishments and makes it into the Hall of Fame. Doesn't mean they weren't a great player. Obviously, they were a great player, but they may not have had accolades and success like somebody else. The 2025 MLB class or Hall of Fame class, I'm sorry, was announced, and you got Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, and the late Dave Parker, as well as the late Dick Allen. I think Billy Wagner is the eighth. I could be wrong, but I think Billy Wagner is like the eighth relief pitcher in the Hall of Fame. Period. So clearly he was good. Like he was something because they don't really allow relief or they don't really put relief pitchers into the Hall of Fame. Again, I think he's the eighth person, eighth or ninth. I could be wrong, but I know it's a scarce amount. And he even said it in his Hall of Fame speech. CC Sabathia, no, he is not the greatest pitcher ever. And I will even say that I believe a lot of his success was due to the fact that he was playing on the most popular team in baseball for majority of his career in the Yankees. But there was a good period of time where when you talked, and this is coming from somebody that doesn't never really watched baseball sparingly, watch the World Series and I watch the playoffs, but this is someone that doesn't know much about baseball. So you can take that as nothing or you can take that as my opinion doesn't count. It's up to you. But CC Sabathia, for the longest, was the face of pitching. When we talk about shortstops, the face of shortstops for the longest was Derek Jeter. When we talk about power hitting, when we talk about just home runs, the face of home runs for the longest, and may even still be that, is Barry Bonds. Now, I'm not saying that CC Sabathia was up there when we talk about Barry Bonds, but there was a good time where the face of pitching was CC Sabathia. And I'm not saying he was the best, but he was the face of that. And it did also help, like I said, that he played for the most recognizable team, not just in baseball, maybe all of sports, in the New York Yankees. So the fact, obviously he has a World Series to his name. I think that is well deserved. And then you get to Ichiro Suzuki. We just talked about Bubba Wallace. And we talked about how there are sports that are dominated by certain races, ethnicities, you know what I'm saying? And you don't see a lot of, I know Shohei Ohtani might be the greatest baseball player we've ever seen, but for the longest, we didn't see, and even if you look on the game today, outside of Shohei, there's not a lot of Asians in baseball. One of the most popular, and it's not just because, he was just Asian, but he was also one of the best players of his time, and that is Ichiro Suzuki. In fact, he's so good, he's known by one name. Not saying that he's on the same level, but there's a reason why we know Braun for LeBron. Steph, we call him Steph. Kobe, we call him Kobe. Shaq, we call him Shaq. They were so good, they're pretty much known either for their nickname or as one name. Ichiro was so good for the Marlins or Mariners. He's known as Ichiro. What he did in Seattle, boy. I don't think he ever won a World Series, but he was on that Seattle team that won like 100-something games. Yeah. That man has a career total of 117 home runs, 1,420 runs, 3,089 hits, 3,994 total bases, 780 RBIs. It had an average of .311. Yeah. If you don't believe anything I say about this, if you're questioning, because there was one, he almost was a unanimous pick for the Hall of Fame, but there was just one person. Don't know who that one person was. Don't know what they were watching. But we call Steph. We call Lamar. We call Patrick Mahomes pretty much Mahomes. We call LeBron. We call MJ. Those are that's because they were so great. They're just known by one name or a nickname. They're just when you say, "Oh, you're talking about Mahomes," that's what what we're talking about. Ichiro was so good, we call him Ichiro. We don't even bother with Suzuki. So I say all that to say, congratulations to every single person. Again, shout out to the late Dave Parker and Dick Allen as well. Both African Americans, both great. I think Dave Parker was one of the most expressive. I know he would have different shirts that have different sayings on it a lot, and I know his family did a great job in pretty much describing him as a great person for his Hall of Fame inductee, and then obviously with Dick Allen. Obviously, these people are great in their own way, but we have one of the best baseball players of all time in Ichiro. We have one of the faces when he was playing of baseball, when we talk about pitching, and CC Sabathia. Again, I think he's the 8th reliever, left-hand reliever at that, 8th reliever to ever make the Hall of Fame in Billy Wagner. Like, this was an incredible class. It's also incredible because I know most of these people. And again, this is coming from somebody that don't know much about baseball at all. But congratulations, and I did love how Ichiro was like, whoever didn't and vote me into the Hall of Fame, your reservation to my house is revoked. Because again, I don't know how can you watch Ichiro and think to yourself, that's not Hall of Fame worthy. That's crazy. When again, he's literally known as Ichiro. He's known by one name. Unless you do just something infamously terrible, you're not really known by one name if you're not great, and he was that. So congratulations to all the 2025 Hall of Fame inductees.
Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.